I'm good. How you doing?
Good, good. First off, I tell you, you've been in so many amazing movies as an actor.
Oh, thank you.
So, what kind of made you want to take that leap into directing?
I always wanted to be a director. I wanted to be a director since I've been an actor. I like it's something that always appealed to me since I first started watching movies. Once I found out what a director did, I used to think they just picked out the shots. I didn't really understand any of it. But I started doing theater and making short films, so it was always kind of in the plans. And I didn't know if it was in the cards because it's hard to get a movie made, and it took me a lot of grit to get there to make my first one a few years ago, and I just can't believe it now that I've made two, and I have the third one on the way, which is crazy. So yeah, I can't complain.
Well, that's amazing. And I'm sure that acting, helped you get that perspective, to be a director. So you
Oh my God.
understand what the what's going on with the characters and things.
So much so. Like I think every actor should direct. I think every director should act. I mean, should understand what the other person needs and wants. And yeah, no, acting is really helped me grasp what doesn't work actually a lot of times, to be honest, because when you're on set, like actors spend more time on set than most directors, because most directors make a movie every few years. Like as an actor, I work on several projects each year, and you're on set all the time, so you get to understand the mechanics and the way it works and what takes time and what doesn't, and how to pick your spots, and not to mention how to tell a story and what's needed to galvanize the plot moving forward.
Right, right. And speaking of directing, your movie Voices of Our Mother is about to will be born into the world.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, I made my first film, The Righteous, a few years ago, and this is a really kind of jumps off of some of the themes I was dealing with in that movie to kind of a larger scale, and a more challenging scale for sure. So, I really do think that this movie and my first movie take some really big swings, and I'm just curious to see what people think of it, because it's very bold, if nothing else. But that's the kind of movies I like, and you got to be true to yourself.
Right. When, of course, when I first heard of it, I knew it was a possession movie. And you kind of have to admit, when you hear possession, you kind of expect the same old recycled ideas. That's what we get these days.
Yeah.
But Voices of Our Mother is very different. I don't think we've seen that angle before.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got you got that, because I'm kind of tired of the same thing after a while too. And I think it's really important as a filmmaker to understand the preconceived notions of the audience. Audiences come into every movie with baggage or expectations. And I think it's so difficult to give them something completely wildly original, because it takes them a second to catch up to it. But if you can give them something that they think that they know, and then you subvert that, like even in my first film, it was about, a stranger comes into this house, and you're like, oh, he's probably going to hurt them. Then you find out it's kind of the opposite. And this movie, I don't want to reveal too much, but it's not so much as it's the opposite of what you think, but it just goes in a totally different direction. And I think that that's important, because that's how you really challenge a viewer, because you get them and then you twist them.
Right, right. And, what kind of inspired the film? Because I know you wrote it as well.
Yeah, I did. I've just always been fascinated by family dynamics and sibling dynamics, and how you actually reveal yourself more around your family than you probably do around other people, because you show your weaknesses a bit more, and then showing that weakness also like allows your family to consider you one certain way all the time, and oh, my brother's like this and my sister's like this, but there's actually a reason why, and I wanted to get at that while also seeing so many possession movies. There's so many movies about possession. And instead of not making one, I was like, I want to make one that's different. And I just thought, you see so many possession movies, it's always like a kid who gets possessed. And I was like, I think it's more fascinating someone older getting possessed, because what if they say something? Because your mom, like I'm a parent, and I know everything about my daughter at this point. She's 8. Like I at some point there'll be stuff I don't know, but right now I think I know everything about her. So your parent knows so much about you. What if they revealed things that your other siblings didn't know? Is it just dementia? Is it just like quote unquote crazy talk, or is it real? And I think that that's much more fascinating than a kid going through it because we've seen it. We've seen it so much that we're desensitized to a kid's like back breaking and going ah, like we've seen so much. It's really crazy shit, and yet we're desensitized to it. So I wanted it to be more about the emotion and the effects of it as opposed to a visceral scare.
Right, right. And as someone who can kind of, empathize with the siblings and their drama, because I'm there too. So, it got under my skin a little bit. You know what I mean? Because
Good.
I'm thinking about, my situation and their situation, and it almost hit a little too close to home. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but it is fascinating, and I am glad that you chose to go with the mother because it is so different than what we get.
Yeah. And I think that's important to give audiences something. Well, we're seeing it right now in movies so much, like the superhero thing is kind of dying out, and it's not because the movies aren't good, it's because we've just seen it. We've done that, and that's why you're seeing Backrooms perform so big, because we haven't seen. And Backrooms is crazy. That's a wild movie that exists, and it's cool, like that's great. And so I think that's so important. But it's funny you say that about, like, it hitting you personally. There's a lot of different dynamics happening in the movie, so I think it could appeal to a lot of people. And when we played this at Panic Fest in Kansas City, and several people said after, they were like talking about their family, but there was one guy in particular who's like, "I'm going home and calling my brother," and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty crazy." And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, I just feel like I gotta like figure some stuff out with him," and
Yeah.
because in this movie, like, they just haven't, and I don't think they have the wherewithal to know how to handle those things, and it's because of the way they were brought up. It really informs who you are.
It has so many layers
Yeah, yeah,
in
and I think that's
between.
important. I like movies that give you a lot instead of it just being like one thing. I think a movie, when I look at a piece of art like a painting, I like getting many things from it. I don't like just looking and being like, wow, that's a beautiful landscape, and I should move out into the country. Like, what I mean? I want to be like, God, that makes me think of that time when I was younger when that thing happened. Because my goal as a filmmaker is always to hope that the audience is invested in the story, yes, but the movie is impacting them in a way that is making them think different thoughts other than what the plot is. And that is interesting to me when you walk away being like, oh my God, I'm thinking thoughts and I don't really know why. Art is supposed to do that.
Right. It's supposed to make you feel something.
Yeah, it's supposed to make you feel something as opposed to just be like, ooh, that was scary. Or like, and then it's forgotten about and then it means nothing. So it has to mean something. And I like not knowing what that's gonna be for the audience. It's up to them.
Right, right. And the cast is fantastic.
Oh yeah, they're so good. My God. Sheila McCarthy she's a legend, and that's a tough role. And Georgina Riley, my wife, plays Annika. So that was yeah, that was a really nice experience. And the whole cast, I mean, they really bought in, and we shot this very quickly, and it was a lot of challenging scenes and a lot of deep, heavy emotion, and they were just game in there. And that's all you can hope for as a director. You're like, I hope they bring something unexpected, and I hope that they're game and they're excited. Because when they're excited, they're gonna invest themselves, and I really felt that in every scene.
Right, right. It's a very heavy movie. It's also gripping, and then you have the supernatural aspects that come into play, and it really is a great combination.
Yeah, thank you. I think the supernatural aspect of it is important because it's not just I wanted to make something supernatural, but I feel like everyone in the movie is so much concerned with themselves. And when you're so concerned with yourself, you kind of feel like the universe is against you. And like, so there's a sort of a melodrama to one's own pathos. So it kind of just came out naturally that it's like, when things are going really bad for you and you're like, the universe is against me. And I just felt like in this movie, it's like they're building something out of control that one could even look at this movie and it's like, is that even happening? Like, I don't really know. Is it even really happening? Or is it just their own narcissistic tendencies that is projected onto something? It's a fascinating way to watch the movie. When we were editing, I actually watched the movie because you've seen the movie, and I don't want to reveal too much, but there is something that's happening, and there's something that happens by the end. But you can watch the movie in which that doesn't happen, and it's just the way it's perceived by them.
Right, right. Well, it's like I said, I enjoyed it, and you couldn't by any chance tell us what's coming up next for you, could you?
Yeah, I'm currently filming a movie right now that I wrote as well that I'm producing and starring in called Good in the Room. It's a crime drama sort of hockey thriller.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. I'm very excited about. And I also directed another movie since Voices of Our Mother called Nice People, starring Sosie Bacon and Chloe Bennett, Skylar Astin, Ella Travolta. Really good cast. That's sort of a horror comedy that's in post right now. And a bunch of other things coming out later this year. I don't want to list all of them, but
Busy man.
but busy, yes, busy, happily busy.
But that's fantastic. Like I said, I really enjoyed the movie. I love that it was different, that it gave us, multiple layers and that, it was creepy at the same time.
Yeah,
Because you don't, like I said, you're not 100% sure what's going on until like key moments that's like revealed. And that's a great thing.
great. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did. And I can't wait to see what else you've got coming up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, stay tuned.